Did you spend too much money this holiday season, or have you recently spent too much money? Today, I'm going to help you come up with an action plan to cut back on your spending and get back on track with your finances, or get started to be on track with your finances if you've never been on track before. So I'm going to give you an action plan, step by step, what to do today. If you're new, welcome. My name is Kelly Ann Smith with freedomandabudget.com, and I help people save more money, increase their income, and cut back on their spending. So if you're interested, subscribe to the channel. Also check out my blog, freedomandabudget.com. I have tons of resources, tons of blogs. I have tons of stuff to help you out there. Number one is to track your spending. I personally recommend tracking your spending in a budget. I love Excel. You can do a pen and paper budget. You can do an app. You can do Excel, Google Sheets. I have a pen and paper printable for you if you want it, a Excel template or a Google Sheets template. And I have been using the Excel Google Sheets template for I think 6 years now, and I love it. I've perfected all the formulas and tweaked it, and I just love it. It's so customizable. You can change it throughout the month. You can change it from month to month. It's so easy to track your spending. And if you're tracking your spending every couple of days, it's not going to be overwhelming. So many people, when they write a budget, they think that it's just your income and your general expenses and that's your budget. No, you have to be tracking every single penny that you're spending. Now that may seem overwhelming, but trust me, if you're in it every couple days, it takes 5-10 minutes. I recommend doing like Monday, Wednesday, Friday, or every couple days. Give yourself a set routine to do this. Maybe make it part of your morning coffee routine where in the mornings on those days, you drink your coffee and put in your expenses. I just go through receipts or through our bank statements or credit card statements, whatever we do, and just transfer them to the budget. Now, this helps keep you in mind of what you're spending your money on. Like, oh dang, yeah, I gotta track that. I don't know if I want to spend that much money out at the bar because then I'm gonna have to track in the budget. It also has you really looking at your expenses saying, wow, I'm going to the gas station a lot for gas station snacks when I should just be buying extra snacks at the grocery store. And rather than having the markup at the gas station, that's an easy way that I can cut back. Another thing that tracking your expenses really does is it helps you see in line where you are for the month. So if you wait to the end of the month to track all your expenses, number one, it's going to take you forever. You're going to hate it. You're going to dread it. You're not going to want to do it. And you can't adjust throughout the month. So if you see halfway through the month, you're going over budget on groceries, you still have time to readjust, say, all right, we got to cut back. We got to eat from the pantry. We got to readjust our spending. So we're going to cut back a little bit. And if you wait to the end of the month, it's too late. You're like, well, sorry, maybe next month. No. Track it throughout the month so that you can see and you can readjust as you go. The next way to overcome money guilt is having a budget really gives you freedom. So many people think that budgets are constricting, but honestly, guys, I totally disagree. That's why I named my channel Freedom in a Budget, because budgets give you freedom. So what do I mean by this? Let me give you an example. I used to feel so guilty every single time I would go to Home Goods or TJ Maxx or Marshalls. Those are my guilty pleasures, those stores, or Kirkland's, and buying the cute home decor, different things like that. And I would feel so guilty about it. And I'd be like, this money should be going to my student loans. This money should be going towards this debt, or this money should be going to savings. And I would feel so much guilt about it. Then I took a step back when I started budgeting and said, you know what, Kelly? I get it. And I said, instead of feeling that guilt and that shame, let's put a line item for those stores of personal spending money and say, you can spend $100 a month in those stores, wherever you want to do, whatever you want to spend your personal spending money on, you can spend $100 a month. Now, as long as I stay within that budget, there's no guilt. There's no shame because I have it in my budget. I have it allocated for, and any money above and beyond that, that's going towards my goals and not towards that personal spending money. So same with eating out. Maybe eating out is something that you really want to enjoy and you really enjoy it and you're like, I don't want to cut out eating out. Come up with an amount and say, okay, this is how much we're spending every single month in eating out. We're not going above that. We're staying within that eating out, but we can eat out without feeling the guilt. So that's how budgets give you permission to spend, because you're being in charge of your money versus your money in charge of you. And you're saying, okay, this is where I want to spend this. This is where I want to spend this. This is what I want to do with my money versus just spend and not knowing where your money's going. The next way to overcome money guilt and get back on track with your savings, get back on track with your spending, is to do a savings challenge. I love savings challenges. They're so great at really motivating you. And I have a variety of savings challenges on my websites. I'll have them all linked down below in the description box. But what they do is they're a visual motivator, and I'll have some on the screen here for you where you can say, okay, when I save this amount, I get to color in another hexagon or another circle or whatever the icon is. And it really is going to help motivate you to save that extra amount and really say, all right, let's do it. Let's push to the next one so that we can color it in. It sounds so childish of like, yeah, coloring is going to motivate me, but it really does, y'all. Like, it is so motivating of saying, all right, I just want to get to the next one so I can color it in. I love seeing the visual progress of what I'm making and the visual progress of paying off my debt or the visual progress of saving more money or investing or whatever it is. It's amazing how motivating that is. So I have, oh gosh, I think like 30, 40 savings challenges on my website. So definitely check them out. They are so much fun. And I have a variety, anyone, bundles, all that stuff. So definitely check them out. Another way that you can do a savings challenge or challenge is challenge your friend. And if you have someone else in your life that is wanting to get their finances in order, wanting to pay off debt or wanting to do whatever, and say, all right, first one to $1,000, they have to cook dinner, or first one to $1,000, they have to do this, or whatever it is. And then you're challenging your friend, or first one to make $1,000 in side hustle, or first one, whatever it is. And if you're a competitive person, this is going to motivate you. So you know what? I don't want to spend that because then they're going to win. And your competition, your ego comes in, and that's a great way to motivate you. So use that competition as a good thing to motivate you to hit your savings goal faster, or to pay off debt faster, or invest faster, whatever it is. Use that motivation, use that competition to get you to your goal even faster. The next way to overcome money guilt is to think about what matters to you and what keeps you up at night. What are the bills that keep you up at night? What is the stress that keeps you up at night? What are the things that motivate you to have fun in life? Maybe going out to eat is something that's really important to you. Maybe your morning Starbucks, that is what gets you out of bed. That is what gets you through the workday, and that's something that you don't want to give up. That's totally fine. Think about those things. You don't have to cut everything out of your budget, but think about those key things and what really matter to you. Keep those in your budget, and then you can cut out the things that don't matter to you as much. So for us, for me at least, eating out is not that big. So I'd rather spend my money on other things, and I can cut eating out a little bit. So figure out what works best for you and cut things that don't mean a lot, and then you can splurge on things that do. It's a really big personal decision. It is different for everyone. It's not one size fits all. So figure out what are the triggers for you. What keeps you up at night? Maybe it is a certain debt that is just keeps you up at night. It stresses you out. Maybe it's a debt with a family member. Maybe you owe your mom $1,000, and every single time you see her,
so why are you spending your money on that? You haven't paid me back yet. Why are you spending your money?
maybe that's a debt that you want to move up in the list of the debts that you're paying off so you can get her off your back. And that's a debt that you're like, oh, I just want that out of here. I don't want her nagging me anymore. That is top priority. Or maybe it's a debt with a high interest rate and you're like, holy crap, every single time I pay this bill, I pay this debt, I see that interest, and the more money is going to interest than it is principal. I want to get this out of here. Maybe that's something that really triggers you and really bothers you. So focus on the things that really bother you or trigger you or excite you and really make it personal, because every budget is personal. Everyone has a different situation. So don't feel guilty because someone else is spending money on this and you're not, or vice versa. Really make it personal and really write down and think through what triggers you, what makes you happy, what do you want to get rid of in your debts, what do you want to save more for. Maybe you want to build up a higher emergency fund because $1,000 is enough and you're like, I want a month's worth of expenses. Work on that and really make it personal and customizable. The next way to overcome spending guilt and overspending is to make an action plan for next year. So Christmas may have just passed and maybe you way overspent for Christmas and you're like, all right, we spent a lot of money and we did not prepare for it. Start preparing now. Start preparing in January and saying, okay, we want to spend $1,200 for easy math because I'm pregnant and math is hard when I'm pregnant. And typically I'm good at math, but say we want to spend $1,200 for Christmas next year. That includes flights, that includes presents and food and all that stuff. And Christmas matching pajamas, $1,200 is what we need to save for Christmas. I'm going to start now in January saving $100 a month. So that way when December comes, I have that money versus being like, oh crap, we got to whip out the credit card. Ugh, this sucks. No, start planning ahead of time, or maybe a big vacation. Maybe you just went on a big trip and you way overspent and said, okay, let's start planning our next vacation now. Let's start saving for it now. Set up what's called a sinking fund, which is a fancy term for a savings account. Set up a sinking fund and really start saving that money now so that when the time comes, you have the money and you're not having to make you go into debt for it. That is a great way to just prepare for next year. We can't, undo what we did, but we can plan ahead and make sure that this doesn't happen again. That's our goal. We want to make sure that we stop going into more debt. We stop this endless cycle and really draw a line in the sand and start saying, hey, I'm getting good with my money. I'm getting good with my finances. We're turning a corner and this is going to be awesome and we're going to kill it. So those are some ways that you can really overcome that spending guilt. Let's keep the conversation going. If you want to know some saving challenges to keep you motivated, check out this video here. And if you want to grow your income, check out a full playlist that I have on side hustles that you can do from home, that you can do out and about, different side hustles. I have some for everyone. Check out that playlist here.